the first part of this video, Shocking Truth on Onam Festival, Part 1, we had proven that Bharadan is actually Vishnu. But Bharadan being said to be the son of Rishabhanada, it means that Vishnu be the son of Rishabhanada, which is hilariously nonsense. Hence, Rishabhanada having 100 children is simply a fake story. At the very outset, this story looks very stupid and disgusting to think that Rishabhanada, the first Siddha, had 100 sons. Oh, what a fantasy! So far, I had been thinking that only Jewish Brahmins could create such disgusting stories. The Jains are also equally cunning. Rishabhanada of Jainism, otherwise called as Adinada, is nothing but the Adinathan of Asivakam, and he was also called Isa, Siva, Kala Bhairava, Yama, etc. Rishabhanada lived in Kreta Yuga 20,000 years ago. Vishnu, the Bharadan, who is nothing but Parshvanatha, lived 3,000 years ago either at the end of Dwapara Yuga or in the beginning of Kali Yuga. How could they concoct a story linking them as a father and son? Extremely cunning. The Jains and the Jewish Brahmins jointly looted Tamil's Samana heritage. The Jains claimed Tamil Samana heritage as Jaina heritage. Brahmins looted Tamil Samana heritage and built Hinduism out of it. Hinduism has just 1200 years vintage and started with Adi Shankara in 8th century, and hence it is a junior religion to Islam which originated in 7th century. On the other hand, Tamil's original Asivaka heritage has 20,000 year vintage. Hinduism, as is known today, and Asivakam of Tamils are completely different except for the names of the gods. The Jewish Brahmins of India are the Illuminati who work with a long-term agenda spanning centuries to ensure their easy survival in India with a superior place in society. Jnana Sambandhan was a Jewish Brahmin of 7th century who nailed the last nail in the coffin of Asivakam. Having destroyed Asivakam completely, Adi Shankara, the Jewish Brahmin of 8th century, took their agenda to the next level and concocted Hinduism as is known today with the looted gods from Tamil's Asivakam. Now, coming back to Rishabhanada, Bharadan and Bahubali fake story, Bharadan possessed a chakra, but it could not hurt Bahubali. We can surmise from this claim that both Bharadan and Bahubali were one and the same personality. We have proven that Bharadan is Vishnu. Hence, Bahubali should also be Vishnu. There is also a story of Jada Bharadan in Hinduism. Here, Jada means physic in Tamil. It means Bharadan with a great physique. If you go through that story, you would know that it actually describes Bahubali, his physique and his sainthood, though calling it as Bharadan. Hence, Bahubali and Bharadan are one and the same personality and both are nothing but Vishnu. We have already seen that Vishnu was called Mavali. Mavali is a Tamil name which means the great skilled one. Bahubali, which deformed from Vahubali, means in Tamil as the handsome and skilled one, and Vahu means handsome in Tamil. Hence, Mavali and Bahubali are the two names of Vishnu built out of the same core name Vali meaning skill and being qualified by two adjectives Ma and Vahu. Ma means great and Vahu means handsome. Hence, Mavali and Vahuvali were regional names of the same Vishnu. Vishnu was called Mavali in Cheranadu and he was called as Vahuvali in Karunadu. Hence, Bharadan, Mavali and Bahubali were nothing but Vishnu himself. Mavali was a king Vishnu, Bharadan was an emperor Vishnu and Bahubali was a Siddha Vishnu. But as usual, the Jewish Brahmins tried to destroy history by pitting both these personalities, that is Bharadan and Bahubali, against each other. It is again the same modus operandi. Hence, the story that Bahubali was a son of Rishabhanada, the first Tirthankarar, is a terrible lie. According to Tamil's understanding of Rishabhanada, he had only 4 disciples and not 100, and those 4 too are not known as his children. In the times of Rishabhanada in Kreta Yuga, tonsuring the head was not the norm and the technology did not develop in those times. And that is the reason Rishabhanada is having a long stock of hair as per Tamil Samana tradition. That is how Shiva was called Sadayon in Tamil and is recorded in Jewish tradition also as El Shaddai. Plucking of hair with hands evolved only during the later stages of Samanam, and Rishabhanada being the first Tirthankarar, it definitely could not have evolved during his times. Even in this picture shown, he is depicted without beard, which only reflects the taste of the artist rather than reflecting the fact. This fact is further established by the picture of Pashupati, that is Rishabhanada from Indus Valley artifacts. He is shown with the headgear of the times with horns of animals, as Shiva was a mountain Korava and he was not shaven. Even in the Kala Bhairava aspect of Rishabhanada, he is depicted with a flaming hair. Hence, Adinatha shown with a shaven head, according to Jaina tradition, is simply idiotic and fake. Jainism is not connected with the history. They look at every ancient Siddha through Mahavira the Jaina, which is simply false. Truly, Jainism starts and ends with Mahavira, the one and only Jaina. Hence, Jains and Jewish Brahmins are faking the history of Bahubali knowingly to destroy the history of Vishnu, the Parshvanath. Adi Shankara starts from Kaladi in ancient Tamil land and goes to Udupi, where his forefathers landed from Israel, and start the first Hindu mutt at Sringeri. On his way, he spreads his cunning story that Bahubali was the son of Rishabhanada, thus destroying his identity as Vishnu. As Jewish Brahmins committed genocide of Asivaka Siddha between 3rd century and 7th century and destroyed Asivakam without a trace, they spread fake history that Chandragupta Maurya came to Shravana Belagola along with the 10,000 Jains following famine in North India. If it is really so, what happened to the rest of the population in the north due to famine? Where did they go? We can't ask such sensible questions on this fake story. But this fake story was a convenient ploy for the Jains of North India to inherit the Samana tradition of Tamils as their own and claiming all the glories of that tradition, including the vast Samana Tamil literature. This colossal plagiarism was jointly committed by Jewish Brahmins and Jains. The fact is that Jains did not come to Tamil land in large numbers and Jainism was not practiced in Tamil Nadu. Jainism was a subset of Asivakam and hence there was no need for Tamils to embrace an inferior and distorted concept. In fact, Jainism did not spread to any other country, whereas Asivakam had spread to all the countries including Arabia, where it took the name Islam after modifying the Asivaka way of life to suit the desert land. The very name Asia of this continent arose from its ancient way of life called Asivakam, thanks to Rajeshwaran, who first proposed it. Hence, Jainism was never practiced in Tamil Nadu. If at all it had some influence in Tamil Nadu, it is only during the past few hundred years of Telugu Brahmin rule of Tamil Nadu. Jainism starts with Mahavira and ends with Mahavira. Jains can't inherit the legacy of Rishabhanada or any other Tirthankarar before Mahavira, who only was called Jaina, and Jainism starts from him only. Rishabhanada was a hunter wearing tiger skin. He was the Kala Bhairava, the hunter with a hunting dog too. How could the Jains, claiming to be compassionate towards microorganisms and walk on the ground after sweeping the path with a peacock feather, could ever claim Rishabhanada's heritage, who was a hunter? Hence, it is sin for them to claim the legacy of Rishabhanada if they call themselves Jains. On the other hand, if they call themselves Samana, then they could claim the legacy of Rishabhanada, including that of Mahavira. Birthplace of Samanam is south and only south. This point should be very clear to them. Buddhism, Jainism, Taoism, Christianity and Islam were all strongly influenced by the ancient Asivaka Samana tradition. I have established that Bahubali was actually Vishnu. Bahubali is also called Gomateshwar. This is nothing but Ko, Mada, Ishwar, meaning the king and the leader of monastery. Ko means king, Madam means monastery, and Ishwar here stands for the leader, and all these are Tamil words. Bahubali is Parshvanath, even though he is not adorned with 5 snake hoods. This is because by the time the statue was built, about 1,000 years ago, Vishnu's history was already destroyed. He is standing there as a saint king or the saint emperor to be precise, emperor of Bharatam. Shravana Belagola is a deformed Tamil name and deformed from Samana Vellai Kolam, which means Samana white tank, called after the sacred tank between the twin mountains. White here stands for wisdom as per Samana tradition. I have said that Vishnu was an emperor and his empire included Southeast Asia. This can be inferred from the fact that Thailand boasts of Kurma Avatar story of Vishnu depicted in their airport. Such a grand display is not seen in any of the airports of India itself. In Cambodia, Angkor Wat temple is Ranganatha temple, replicating the Trichy Ranganatha temple. Trichy Ranganatha temple is surrounded by 2 branches of Kaveri river. Srirangam, that is Thiruvarangam, that is Thiru Arangam means the sacred land cut out by the river Kaveri. Aru plus Angam, Arangam. Aru means cut, Angam means part. Thiru is adjective of merit. Hence, Thiruvarangam means the sacred land cut out by the river Kaveri. As it is the most sacred land, Vishnu should have been buried alive here after his nirvana, that is, Jiva Samadhi. That is why Angkor Wat of Cambodia replicated Trichy Ranganatha temple with a waterway running around it. Angkor Wat is a deformed Tamil name, Anguramitta Vattarangam, as it looks like an anchored ship. Anguramitta means anchored and Vattarangam means round stage. Ranganatha means leader of the stage. Trichy was the headquarters from which Vishnu ruled his empire. Bali island of Indonesia is a great center of Asivagam. Vishnu was the default emperor of India and Southeast Asia, as he became world-known Siddha who could foretell a solar or lunar eclipse for the first time in humanity. Vishnu achieved this feat well more than 3000 years ago. Vishnu was a colossal phenomenon in his times. The Mayans worshipped Vishnu as Kukulkan. 7th century Vishnu idol was unearthed from Volga region of Russia about 10 years ago, and those people had been celebrating Vaikunta Ekadasi. Thousands of years old Vishnu idols were unearthed from Vietnam region about 5 years ago. Hence, for the ancient people of other continents, Asia was known as the land of Asu, that is Asivagam, and hence it was called Asia. I said that following the destruction of Asivagam in Tamil Nadu, it adapted itself to the desert region and manifested as Islam in Arabia. The realization that Asivagam of Tamils was destroyed and corrupted as filthy Hinduism by Jews made the people of the Southeast Asia abandon Hinduism and embrace Islam. They knew that Islam was the next best approximation to Asivagam. That is how Southeast Asia, which originally followed Asivagam, became Islamic countries after Asivagam was destroyed in its motherland, Tamil Nadu. Sufi Muslim traders took Islam to Southeast Asia. Asivagam had spread to Japan, China also, apart from Southeast Asian countries. Karate, Kung Fu, Vinayaka, and Anagandavadam are some of the concrete proofs. Hence, we infer from the discussed facts that Vishnu should have been an emperor not only of India and Southeast Asia, but also of entire Asia. I have established with necessary and sufficient proof that Bahubali is actually Vishnu, who is standing as a saint emperor on Shravana Belagola and Karikola.